Okay, so let's talk about how Audioflow works so you can effectively use it in your multi-room music system. There are three products: the two-way Audioflow, the three-way Audioflow, and the four-way. The two-way switch is a series switch, so you can use any speakers you like, which will work with your amplifier. The three-way and four-way switches are designed for exactly one pair of 8-ohm speakers per output and a connection to an input amplifier that works down to 4 ohms. Audioflow is designed to be stereo, so you need to have a left and right speaker on each of your zone connections for it to work correctly. If you want to install one speaker in an area, you can use a single stereo speaker, which is a special kind of speaker that uses 2 speaker cables to do left and right in one speaker. Those are the basic rules, but it is worth learning a little bit more about how Audioflow works under the skin. The 3S range of switches do not use any resistors to add artificial load to your system, which means we don't suck any energy away from your amplifier and have a fully transparent audio quality when you have one zone on, and typically great sound quality when you have more than one zone on. To balance out the load of your amplifier, the zones in Audioflow are in a series parallel matrix. For example, the four-way switch, zones A and B are in series, zones C and D are in series, and then AB is in parallel with CD. With the three-way switch, zones B and C are in series, and these are in parallel with A. So useful things to note is that there are some amplifiers which can go down to 2 ohms, such as the Wimamp Ultra. So if you're using this, you can use speakers below 8 ohms, no problem. If you think your speaker and amplifier combination may not work with Audioflow, we do have a one at a time mode, which you can enable in the app. This will let you use any speakers you like, but of course, only one zone on at a time, and that might be fine. If you want to switch between 2 zones and are using 8-ohm speakers, you can consider using a 3-way Audioflow and using A and B and disabling zone C in the app. This way you're using parallel connections instead of series connections, and that will give you a slightly improved audio quality when you have both zones on at the same time. The 2-way Audioflow is perfect if you're using speakers below 8 ohms or 2 pairs of 8 ohm speakers on one or both of the outputs. There is a feature to be able to disable a zone on the Audioflow if there is a zone that you're not using. For example, you can use a 4-way Audioflow for 3 pairs of speakers if you think you might want to install another pair in the future. The 3S model switches do not include a volume control. You would control the volume from your source amplifier, and this will affect all of the zones at the same time. Some mechanical switches can have volume controls, but Audioflow is electronic, and unfortunately, volume control is not possible in this design. The biggest switch in the 3S range is the 4-way. If you need more zones, you can have as many Audioflows as you like. They will all appear perfectly in the app, but each one will need to be connected to its own amplifier output. You cannot daisy chain or otherwise connect multiple Audioflows to the same amplifier. If you have 3 zones on, one zone may be a little louder than the others, but if you expect to use 3 zones all the time, you can swap the connectors around so the slightly louder zone is where you want it to be, and this often works out just fine. Generally, we would not recommend Audioflow on any systems which include a subwoofer that is directly connected to your amplifier before the Audioflow, whether it's with an RCA cable, wireless, Wi-Fi or network. You may be able to use the subwoofer connected via speaker level connection in parallel with your main speakers after the Audioflow. Audioflow is for normal 8 ohm speakers. We do not support high voltage commercial systems such as 80 volt or 100 volt line. You also can't use it for lighting or any other electrical purpose, and you cannot use it backwards for switching between multiple amplifiers. If you're unsure about whether Audioflow will work for you, we are here to help. Don't hesitate to get in touch with us via the contact details on our website.